Hi all, welcome to another Banter Blitz on Chess24. It's 12:30 PM Sunday UK time. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Let's mute this thing over there, get my preview working, look at my challenges list, and accept the first challenge. So, hello on Kamish. Sorry about the pronunciation. Okay. We have an exchange French. I think this is a line. I did a video with Paul Giorgio, a big dual commentary on the exchange French, and C5 was mentioned. Although I'm not sure I'm going to get a fantastically dynamic game after C3 at this moment. I can comfortably pin and retreat the bishop round, maybe to try and weaken white on the light squares. I'm going to pause that plan for a bit. Maybe he's going to play G4. I don't know. Okay, that's interesting. It is giving me a bit of dynamic play on F2 potentially. That's kind of what I wanted with the C5 line. You accept the isolated queen's pawn, but you might get a bit of pressure tactically going on the position. I don't want to lose a pawn to bishop H7. I want to sort of prepare. I'm wondering about FG. Is that so crazy? It looks terrible to do FG. It looks really terrible. In fact, so terrible I'm tempted not to play it. I'm not going to play it on this occasion. Maybe another time. But I've already got some terrible structural. Well, not terrible. That's like queen's pawn. I'm threatening to win a piece there. Okay. I'm wondering A6 for queen D6, bishop C7. That's how you'd sometimes play with an IQP. You try and actually put some pressure on the king's side. I know that seems a bit crude and whatever, but it's what you do sometimes with the isolated queen's pawn. I wanted to stop knight B5. Okay, now here, okay, I don't think there's anything remarkable except I'm losing maybe A6 if I'm not careful. At the moment, rook A8, rook takes A2. Might be possible. Let me see. Knight E4, rook E4 is not on the cards, I think, because the bishop's protecting the queen. This H file. This is an interesting pawn structure now. Actually, remarkable from an exchange French. I'll protect with the king as well. So an interesting pawn structure because it's actually giving me a semi-open file on this H file. So maybe I can use this fact like rook H5, rook F5, rook F3, queen H2. Now here there's a loose rook on C8 though. Got to be careful. I'll tuck this away, maybe to support, maybe in the center. Although, hang on, I'm concerned. Let's just do that move. I'm concerned about knight D4, F5. Do I actually want to play F6? You know, maybe. I don't know, actually. And I don't like the look of the threat of knight D4 to F5. I don't like the fact my rook was tied down. F6 here. This is what I'm thinking. Unless he's got knight G5, that could be a downer. No, it's queen H7 all the time. What could be a downer on F6? I mean, I've weakened my second row. That is a concern. Okay, can I actually change this plan? Just put a rook on E4 here, knowing that if the knight's dislodged, then there's queen H2. So can I actually just double? That seems to be a nice protected square in white's position, in fact. And I'm not sure the H file. It looked at first, but I think this looks quite interesting. Can I put the pressure again in this position? What if I simply trebled here? Is that not causing some concern? Mind you, taking in a knight D4. I'm not convinced. Let me just play this for a moment. I'm not convinced by queen E7 at the moment because of the possibility of knight D4 there. I think let me see, knight d4 is the nuisance. Even though he's got rid of my isolated queen's pawn, there is a pawn structure fracture. a6 is a bit of a concern. The bishop is a trump card in a way. I have got the extra dark square pressure here, but yeah, he's going to come in with f3 soon. And if I take here, then there's that c file. So it's not all a bed of roses just yet. Okay, so f3 is going to exchange everything off. Oh, let's get rid of this pawn. Try and get rid of this pawn. It's a bit of a concern, this position. f3 is going to weaken the diagonal, but it's kind of, unfortunately, I think it's kind of possible. What would I do against it? Bishop takes d4, c takes. I can maybe win b4 at the end of it and still protect e7. Example, f3, bishop takes, check, cd, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes. I think I was winning b4 at the end of that anyway and protecting e7. So maybe actually a5 might turn out to be, it's a handy move. Trying to disrupt this amazing knight on d4. Amazing. Okay. Queen f4 is an interesting pin, actually. Might be running into knight e6 or not. No, I just take that. Okay, queen f4 or f4. f4 takes, knight f5 wins the queen. Tactical point of note. Yeah, I don't want to play d takes in a hurry. Yeah, it's a cause of concern. I'm gonna just swap this off, hoping that okay, this position is less dangerous for me without that knight on the board. I'm just hoping this is okay. The opponent has an isolated queen's pawn and fractured b pawn, isolated b pawn. Now here, okay, my c6 pawn, I can support it. Not too terrible, I think, to be able to support it. In regards to taking the queen there off, that's also, I think this might be playable. I'm going to release the rook from nannying the pawn and try and hit one of these pawns with a rook and get the king across the center. So releasing the rook from duty, hitting a pawn, getting the king towards the center. Now this is interesting. Can I actually do something from here? Taking undoubles my pawns. f3 is tempting as well, but I will just undouble the pawns. I note, I was going to note about losing a rook. No, I don't think I'm losing a rook just yet. Okay, so okay, is he giving me two mobile pawns in the center versus past h pawn there? So the 2-to-1 over there, but I can start mobilizing these guys. Okay, so there's a pass pawn there and there. All right, so we have an interesting scenario, but I'm wondering, I can put a halt to that pawn for a moment. I don't know if that's actually the right idea here. It might not have been. Might not have been. Yes, this is going to be a technically challenging position. Is it a draw? I think it might be. I'll try and grind this out somehow. I don't think I can grind this out particularly, except when on time. Oh, that's unfortunate. I can I'm gonna have to test this. Let me just test this. Is there any other way? No. Okay, I was going to test it, but then I realised I think it's a draw. Sorry. Don't get short on time. Sorry, I'm ruthless. Sorry. Oh dear. I was looking at other stuff. Oh dear. Oh no. Sorry about that. Okay. Well, I have to punish people that play the exchange French. I mean, if it wasn't the exchange French, I might actually feel bad. But if it's the exchange French, you get what you deserve. I'm sorry. This applies in over the board as well. I expect anyone who's playing the French defence, and I don't mean this. This is not a joke. Anyone who plays the exchange French against you, the rules go out of the window. Yeah, just win. Whatever way it is, just win. Because you've got to teach them a lesson. Yeah, I'm serious. For the community's sake, you've got to teach them a lesson that people that want to go out and bore the game, you just win whatever way it happens. Anything goes. Yeah, the rules go out of the window. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, that's just how I feel about exchange French players. I mean, no offense to anyone. That's how I feel. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah. If you want to play something, to play the game. Otherwise, don't play chess. Yeah, but that's just how I feel. Okay, so Queen C7, Bishop D7. You try and create imbalances in the game to try and make the game interesting. I think it's a duty as a player. Yeah, we're not professional players. We have this duty to ourselves and to the opponents to try and play for interesting games and positions. Not, oh please give me a draw, I'll make the position symmetrical. No, I don't accept that. Not for the enthusiast perspective. Yeah, if you're a grandmaster, fine, play all the boring stuff, play all the stodgy stuff. You're a professional, fine, it's understood more. But anyway, okay, so when someone plays the exchange French, the rules go out of the window. Win whatever means possible. Okay, so knight b7. Let's see, DC knight c5. Or c4 is threatened there. Okay, a6 or a5. Bishop d7. Hitting the queen. We get a blockade here. Knight d6. a6, b5. Rook b8, a6, b5. Bishop f5. Try and exchange off this guy. Well, there's also actually knight c4 potentially. And knight takes b2. He's not going in for that. Well, here there's bishop takes d3. I think I might try that instead of bishop takes g7, hitting both rooks. Here there's knight c4, bishop takes, knight takes queen to simplify. I think I'm just going to end up simplifying this position, even if I give back the exchange. I think this is okay. I've won a pawn, haven't I? I have won a pawn. Got pawn mobility. c4. Okay, now c4. This knight's not going in the way because of rook d5. So where does the knight go? Well, rook d5. There's no check. As long as there's no check. Well, even if there was a check, even if that wouldn't have been helpful. Right, there's c2 coming up. Right, taking in c2, there's a check there on rook c8. If I do that, there's no immediate check to win the rook. c2 immediately. Knight takes c2. So I want to play rook takes and c2 basically. So I'm going to play this. Rook takes and c2 looks convincing to me because d1 and c4 are covered. So taking, I've ruled out the check. I've just removed the check line. I didn't rule out that line though, did I? Oh, what a muppet. What a moron. Sorry, I'm such a moron. Why didn't I rule out that line? Okay, I can play the check and win the exchange bet and have a 2-1 pawn majority over there. I think I should probably do that. Drag the king into the centre. I'm hoping that's not going to be losing. Right, I got a protected pass pawn. I'm relieved I got a protected pass pawn now. That means if he ever tries to do this, he's going to allow the queening. Nice protected pass pawn. Alright, that's reassuring. The king can't go away. It's tied down. In theory. Okay. Okay, thanks for the game, Krish. Alright, Hawk... I don't know. Hawk Slayers or Hawk Layers. I don't know. Hawk Slayers. I think, I don't know what it is. But anyway, happy to play you again. Now, I know I'm playing the exchange French, but you see I play it with c4. There's a big difference. You carry on with c4. It's a Kasparov line. It's the structure. It's the pawn structure. The pawns are the soul of the chess. They can make the game interesting or boring. You see, it's not just one shared file. The dynamics all different. Believe me, the dynamics all different here. Okay, bishop f7, and I might even play g4 soon. Okay, or h4 or g4, h4. In fact, h4, g4. Knight b5 is also possible for bishop f7, but the queen would just move. So the question of f7 is not addressed here. Okay. Just taking this guy. Just taking that guy. For knight g5. Okay, I'm just winning the exchange. Let's just go back. Alright, it's nice to win the exchange there. I've got to be concerned about h2 here. If I castle this knight g4, let's just put some defense against knight g4. Be able to snap off that knight. If I castle knight g, okay, if I take that, if I castle bishop d6, h3 should be sufficient. Don't want to weaken light squares more than necessary. That hits h7. I'd rather, yeah, let's put some pressure on the king side here. g6, bishop g6, queen g6. And this could be a tough nut to crack. Maybe bishop c4, try and lift this blockade. Bishop c4, bishop d5, knight d5, queen e4 threatens queen d5. Yeah, I can either play bishop c4 or bishop e4. I'll play this. Alright, now protect the center. Queen g6 and bishop d3. Queen g6, bishop d3. Bishop d4 doesn't need to check if I take the queen. Can I do this pin? I'll actually be threatening bishop h6. So bishop takes d4, queen takes. There's no check. Right, so I think I'm threatening bishop takes h6. Thunderbolts all go here at the moment. Bishop takes h6. Right, so queen attacked. Exchange of queens couldn't be offered, I think, here. Exchange up. Still threatening, potentially bishop takes h6. Queen needs to keep on that third rank. Alright. Is bishop f4 to just use this e file. Bishop f4 to e5. Bishop f4, rook e1 maybe. Alright. Maybe. That's bishop c7. I could get rid of this blockade. I don't like this blockade. Okay, let's try and nudge this knight away with a5. Okay. Now can I again I have to be careful not to lose another pawn, lose a pawn. Now there's no blockade. Don't like knight e4. I'll rule that out. Rook e7, bishop f2. I hear downside neutralized. I'm not giving this knight a central square. d4 held at the moment. King could come to d3 to free up a rook. Two pieces holding d4 there. King f1, king e2, king d3. Free up a rook, double rooks, then rook c7. So king d3, double rooks. Do I have to play g4? Maybe that's handy, just in case g4 from black. Try and just reduce and reduce and reduce counterplay, if possible. Knight h4 might take, king d3. a6 is possible, knight b4 wins the pawn. What about bishop e1 instead? Lose d4. Okay. Rook c5 instead. Doesn't lose a pawn. Knight b4, king d2. No b6. I think this one. Knight b4, king d2. I can actually do this. Knight b4. Is there knight a2? Maybe sack the exchange to get access to a6 here. Reduces counterplay as well. Wins another pawn either here or here. Two pawns up. Promise of a third pawn. Rook b6. Would that be enough? I think it's pretty dangerous. Outside protected past pawn. Bishop e1, bishop a5 after. Otherwise, 3 pawns down. 3 pawns down. Rook b6, bishop e1, bishop b4 plan. As an example, rook b6, bishop e1, bishop b4. Okay. Let's go with this h5 pawn then. Bishop e3, try and win this pawn. I'm like losing c2 particularly. So a pawn is going to be lost, it seems. Hold d4. Go to g3. I thought f5. I can win a6 with rook g5, rook g6. King's quite near this passed pawn. Win this a6 pawn. behind this pawn. Okay, thanks for the game, Hawkey. Okay, Fenneman. So Fenneman, let's see. I'll play French defense. Okay, I'm asking for the exchange for it. Just do anything. Just win a pawn. Just win a pawn. Just take the pawn. Obviously, I'm going to play this gambit instead. Please take a pawn. Okay, there's a refusal to take a gambit as well. Very funny. Very funny. Ha ha. I'm going to refuse the symmetrical pawn structure. I'm going to stop playing the French against you guys. The French defense is going on strike. I'm not playing the French defense against you guys. If you're going to play the... But note, there isn't just one shared file. There's actually some imbalance here. I know you little bunnies are frightened. Oh, please don't give me any imbalances. Oh, please. But no, I'm going to crush you. I'm going to create imbalances. I don't care if I have to lose all my pawns to do it. Oh dear, oh dear. Sorry, just kidding. Knight d7, c5. Just mucking around. Okay. No, but seriously, there isn't just one shared open file here. Yeah, no, seriously. Someone from my club, John Piggott, he's like been over 210 ECF for ages. I think he gave up the French defense because of the bleeding exchange variation, and he started playing the Sicilian because he needed, to have, unbalanced games. You can't just lose rating points every time someone lower rated plays the exchange French against you. It's just not on. Yeah, takes a knight a4. No, knight b3 looks a bit dangerous. Knight takes, queen takes d5. My good friend Alex, though, has a very good record when people play the exchange French, but usually I think that's biased because it is usually the lower rated players playing it against high rated. So there is a bias tendency for actually players with white to lose generally. If you look at the actual stats of the French defence, I mean, it actually probably favours black historically. So rook d8, e5, knight e4, queen h5, keep the queens on. I'm going to keep the queens on. Yeah, I'm going to keep the queens on. Okay, so knight d5, bishop d5, knight d5. Yeah, I can lose all my pawns with f5 after if I want to lose e6 in the game. Just thinking about attacking schemes. That clearly needs to be scrapped, that attacking scheme. But anything else? G5, G4. G5 lost the key game in a recent strong tournament, so I'm tempted to play it. But maybe bishop d5 first, so this bishop isn't squished. Losing a6 instead. G5, G4. When I lose my queen side, that's interesting. I can get another tempo gain here, though, first. Maybe bishop f6, then G5, G4. Or go back to the earlier plan, which is not entirely ruled out now, of f5, f4, f3. It looks like a lot of fun. Well, it looks mildly as though it could be fun, but the knight's covering, unfortunately the knight's covering f3. The knight's covering f3. a5, there's rook a5. Nothing sensible. My queen side is under great pressure here. e5 first. Clearly I need e5 first, then clearly f5, f4. is much more dangerous, or is it? I can do this either way around. F5, F4. That lets me switch a rook in with rook F6 to G6. Oh, that's elegant. Okay. My point's at G2. It's Queen A6 even. No, there isn't Queen E6. There's almost Knight C3, F3. Or, okay, F6. There's Bishop B7, Knight E5. I'm going to play F6 first. Bishop F6. Maybe Bishop F6 just to avoid this pin. Alright, can I not just take that knight? I think that was a mistake. A much needed mistake, because I'm falling apart over here with two connected passed pawns, quite frankly. So yeah, okay, he's attacking my queen. Knight H3 threatens. So there's still the two connected passed pawns to worry about. Hit some things, hit the rook. Okay, I'll take the rook. Okay, although it is two connected passed pawns, if one, okay, thanks for the game. That was a seriously bad position I was in there. So objectively, I was getting run over on the queen side. I think I have to say that objectively. Okay, man of light. Ready? Knight C4. Okay, I've got a pet line here. I don't know, when I see this opening, I'm thinking H-file hack attack. I don't know if everyone else has that thought when they see this. Okay. I'm gonna stop the use of F6. If he's not gonna move Knight F6, I'm stopping it now. F5 looks just tempting, just to smash through with F5. This G-file looks fun. This diagonal looks fun. Actually, the dark squares, this looks like a really fun position to play. Bishop F6 is nearly winning a rook here. So rook G8, I castle queenside. Oh, really? Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. Bishop F5 hits the rook again. There's a pin on this thing if castling queenside later. King still in the centre. The rook's in mortal danger, and the king's still in the centre. So let's see. The check looks good. Knight D5 looks good, especially if rook E5. Rook G7 looks good. Takes, rook G8. Check looks crushing with the idea of rook E7. So rook G7 looks quite crushing. Maybe I'm being optimistic. Maybe I'm imagining it. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. I'm going to check. I'm going to check it. It is pinning that pawn. Rook E5 for Knight D5 looks good as well. if he's not going to take that, I'm going to play rook e5, knight takes d5. Now, if it's left there, knight d5 here, queen d5, queen d7. If it's left there, can I not just double for rook g8? This is looking mighty dangerous for him. If he's really going to give rook e7 as well, 2 rooks will be doubled. I'm going to provoke this because I want rook e7 actually. I want to connect my pigs on the 7th. Even Larry Christensen, GM, used the term pigs on the 7th. I want to get my pigs on the 7th because the rooks are kind of greedy when they're on the 7th. 2 pigs on the 7th, better than 1. Okay, a3, or I could play king d2. Rook f7 looks really good. Crushing. Right, king d2. So I'm threatening mates now. In fact, rook takes, I'm going to just mate. Let's not do a pre-move. Thanks for the game, Man of Light. Thanks for the game. Azul missed. Okay, I like e4 today. That's some nice hack attacks from e4. So it's like a playground. I mean, chess 24 is meant to be a playground, right? But e4 is a playground within a playground, yeah, of hack attacks. So I'm just playing. Bishop takes. Okay, this is trying to dullify my Smith-Morra gambit, isn't it? To make it dull, trying to make it go into a cold shower system, right? Now, let's see. Let's try and heat it up a bit then. The cold shower. How do we heat up this cold shower? Thrown over my Morra-Smith gambit. My castle, knight d5. Knight d5. Heat the shower. Knight d5. Yes. Favourable pawn structure. E-file pressure. Threatening to double pawns with bishop takes f6. Otherwise, nice favourable transition of pawn structure. E7 backward pawn. Potential also bishop e3, bishop b6 noted. Try and trap the queen. Maybe b3 first, so the queen hasn't got a4. Also, it will fork the rooks. Maybe bishop e3 straight off the bat might actually be good, because b5, bishop b6, queen a4, so what? Knight c7. On knight takes, e takes. There's knight b4, well, there's bishop d2. Yeah. What is this? What is this? And this? What is this? This is not right. This surely is not right. The queen here in conjunction with this plan doesn't look right. Right, it's solved. Unfortunately, solved some of the problems there. Or has he? If I take or knight d4, take f4, queen f2. Am I getting anything from that? The queen f2. I don't know. It does mean bishop b6 again with a vengeance. Maybe f5. F-file is dangerous, but bishop b6, queen b4. Maybe I should have been interested in f5. Let's protect c4 first, just in case, or play bishop b6. While I'm here, I'll play bishop b6. Get the queen simply off my c4. Queen d7, f5 now. Suppressed b5, c4 shielded, b2 protected. Rook e1, rook e3, rook g3, fg, hg, bishop g6, rook g6 looks dangerous. Rook f8, queen f8 mate. So switch a rook in for fg, bishop g6, rook g6. Threats, queen f7. If rook f8, queen f8. So I'm going to just get this rook here. What's this? No. Oh, maybe just plays queen takes. That ruins things. Let's just do that plan I mentioned. It's fractured. The pawns around his king. Just does queen takes. Rook e3. No bishop d4 yet. Queenside paralysed. Bishop paralysed. Rook e3. Rook g3. Queen f4. Queen h6. Different plan. En passant. Am I just helping him? Maybe I'm just helping him. Let's break this down. G-file, pin that rook, king h1, queen c6, king h2, there's bishop e5. On the other hand, rook e5, take and then use the G-file. So king h2, not worried about bishop e5 necessarily. So takes, okay, here we go. King h2, bishop e4, rook g1 plan. I'm going to use this G-file. Mind you, safety point f6, queen h3 is mating me. Safety point about moving the f pawn. King h2, rook g1, rook g. Just that should be good. King h2, rook g1. There's queen f4 for bishop d4, rook e5, d takes, bishop takes is winning. That's too powerful, the fact of double check and mate. Surely, let's check this. Check it. Check, takes, check. Rook e5, rook takes e5, threatening double check mate, takes. I think it's working intuitively. Okay, message to those on YouTube saying about me missing mating ones. Did I miss this? Do you like this one? Get a load of this one, yeah? Did you see that on YouTube? Yeah? Did you see that? Get a load of this one. You want to see some tactics? I'll show you some tactics. Thanks for the game, Azure Mist. I'm sorry. I'm in a wicked mood today. I can't help it. I'm in a wicked mood. I don't know. I've had the wrong diet recently. I'm sorry. It's winter. I don't know. Okay. So anyway, excuses over. Hi PHC123. PHC123. Let's see. I don't know. Are we playing or what? I'm going to have to go to the next game. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. 10, 9. Okay, let's do elephants. Okay, no, elephants is slower. All right. Oh, no, we're into the game. Okay. Okay, e5, knight d5. Provocation. Or am I getting squished? C4. The upside of being squished is you sometimes provoke weaknesses. So this is self-squishing strategy. I'm encouraging white to try and squish me. Come on, you want to play d5, d6. And then I've got some dark square play. That won't be so funny for white, will it? Some dark square play. Okay, cautious here. d5, knight c6. d5, knight c6. Downsides. Not sure. Upsides. I think it helps my development if I play d5, knight c6, bishop g4. I'm hitting d4 harder by pinning that knight. Is the bishop really going over there, away from the pin? So d5, bishop a2, knight c6. ed, queen d6. Is that possible? I mean, maybe, but my bishop is less blunted. So I'm going to play this. Bishop a2, knight c6. Alright, so I mentioned queen d6. Hoping this is okay. dc, queen c5, right? So that bishop, knight c6, bishop moves somewhere. Then rook d8. Just trying to get my pieces out. Knight a5 threatened. Doesn't look right. Queen b3. Bishop e3, queen h5. Not losing b7 just yet. f7 targeted, but knight a5 threatened. Bishop e3, queen h5. Idea maybe bishop g4. Still knight a5. So knight a5 threatened. Okay, so here, peering over the king side, knight a5, get rid of the light square bishop, or bishop g4, bishop e2, bishop g4, h3, maybe considering bishop h3 there. Takes queen h3, f7 problem. Immediately there's knight e5 to attack and defend with tempo. Bishop e2, there's bishop g4, I think I'll go with this. Bishop e2, bishop g4. Well, the knight's hanging. Weakness of the last move. You see that weakness of the last move? It's like in programming, if you want to find bugs, maybe just look at the latest code. It's the same principle, I think. But actually, this f4 is a bit of a problem. There is knight f3, rook f3, bishop d4, isolates a pawn, c takes. Is that worth it? Anything else? There's queen h4 takes. I think it might be worth flecking in knight f3. Why do I think that? You can look at other stuff, which is crazy. Knight c4, I just lose the queen. Anything else just loses the queen. Basically, yeah, let's just do this. Insert this in this. Isolate the pawn. Queen f5, bishop d3, queen f6, hits d4, looks good. To hit d4 simply. I've weakened the opponent's pawn structure a little bit, I believe. Protecting f7 cozily. How does he defend d4? Bishop g4, rook d8 idea. b6, bishop b7 idea. Looks actually a little bit more spicy if I'm hitting g2. Yeah, b6. Yes. There's a check here as well. The check. There's queen e3. Alright, I'll go for bishop b7. Maybe the check for winning d5 pretty soon. Bishop b7, knight d5, bishop d5, queen d4, pick up d5. d5 is vulnerable here, surely. Knight c3 though, yeah, you can hold it. Knight e4, there's queen d4. Okay, battle of d5 begins. Knight e4 hits the queen without queen d4. Weakening the diagonal. Form pawn on h3 to celebrate that. h4, h3, queen f5, queen g4, e6 later. So light square play, queen f5 here, d5 hit, e4 hit, h4 maybe. Idea after knight c3, h4. What about simply knight d5 here? f7 is not a problem here. Takes. takes. Don't see a problem with taking. Knight f4 threatens. Rook takes, queen takes, knight. Pawn takes, queen g4 there. But anyway, it's moved on. Double rooks for rook d1. Some f7 concern, slight, not enough. Up double rooks for rook d1. Can't see a killer check. Why can't I just take that? Thanks for the game, PhD. Iron Man. I'm going to stick with e4 today. I'm in an e4 mood at the moment. Sometimes you can get the hack attack positions that you don't normally get. It's a different style, isn't it, from d4 quite often. Panov-Botvinnik Attack. You'll note this is a structure which is fundamentally different to the exchange French because open, shared open, there isn't a shared one file, there's a semi-open file there, semi-open file there. Okay, so Panov-Botvinnik Attack. This worries me, actually, because I'm not sure of the theory too much. Vaguely remember something about it. This is a very sharp line with bishop g4, I believe. I don't remember this. The problem I see is with bishop g4 is bishop b5 might be good. And then knight e5 hits the bishop on g4, hits d7. Bishop takes, on the other hand, d takes, bishop takes. I mean, bishop b5 there. On takes, because otherwise, right, the check now for knight e5. King d2 on knight c2. Knight d7, alright. Castle? If I castle. Knight e5. Knight c2. Bishop d7. Knight d7. I was thinking about this. Bishop g5 also for bishop f6. I think is knight. I don't know. I don't know. What I like about this position is, although I've got two sets of double pawns, is the dynamic piece play. The rook is active and I've got potential files. That's not even threatening anything at the moment because of that pin. Can I play just knight e5? So idea, bishop g5, bishop takes, knight check here, bishop g5 if black's not doing anything. If he helps my knight, then knight c7 threatened. Yes. Rook a4 is possible here to save harassment from the knight and save d4, I've noticed. Still idea, bishop g5, bishop f6. Additional idea, rook c1 now with tempo trapping the knight. Bishop g5, rook c1. Take on e6 first. Just in case. That's handy. Where it undoubles the pawns, it looks fairly sensible. Threatening now bishop f6. Bishop f6, bishop d7. Rook c1, knight b4. Anything funny going on there? Bishop e7, bishop f6. Let's examine taking here for a moment. Yeah, what's happening now? Knight c7 threatens. Rook c8, then my knight has to move. Where does it go to? Knight a7 seems mostly pointless. Knight c3. Oh, the check here is giving me the check. Blimey. That's useful for e6. Oh, this knight's trapped, isn't it? Because there's no knight b4 now. h6, there's also knight g6 to think about winning the rook. I didn't see that, did I? Now it's threatening knight e2. Okay, it's not funny now. Alright, so king f1. h6, knight g6. Well, there's rook c6 here. Takes. Or simply knight c6. Just saying that, knight c6. If king d7, there's rook a6 after. Threatening rook e6 there, almost. Rook d1, king e2. Can I not just take another pawn for a moment? King d7. Right. Safeguard this guy. Two pawns up. Bishop f4, knight b5, rook c7 plan. So bishop f4, just taking. Simpler, less counterplay. Joins his pawns together, might not be worth it on this occasion. I like the isolated pawn. In fact, rook d2 might be useful now, holding the knight. Rook d2, king c8. Let's just take this guy, isolated pawn still. Bring the king up in front of the isolated pawn. Tempo. Am I worried about this ending? No. No, don't think so. Go around here. G3 might be possible. Takes king d2. Probably a way of losing, actually. Let's not do that. Alright, 2-1 there. Actually, doesn't seem... Don't tell me this is theoretically drawing this position. Anyway, I've still got some winning chances, surely. Anyway, thanks for the game. Okay, Kaz. I thought I had more than that from earlier events, but after losing d4, it wasn't that clear, maybe. Alright, I'm going to play the finger slip variation. How does that go? I documented this on my channel earlier. So it's bishop d2, not mouse slip, but finger slip. Oh, it's not that yet. Alekhine-Chattard gambit. Let's go into that Alekhine-Chattard gambit. Alright, let's go into the burn variation. I don't usually play it from the white perspective. I usually take here. He's imitating me if he takes there. Now my recipe against this, which I hate, if I'm playing black and they play this, what is the standard recipe? Is to exchange off the light square bishop, battery here, castling queenside. To arrange that, I don't want to lose d4. Need the battery and bishop a6. So to arrange that, bishop d3, queen e2, castles queenside. Because the bishop usually fin chateaus here. You take out the bishop pair. Okay, so knight g3. Okay, that's interesting. The early f5. So bishop d3, queen. That's interesting as well. Okay, it's causing me to change plan rapidly. I usually play it with b6, the Anderson way. b6, bishop b7, knight e7, queen c7, castle queenside. Alf Anderson has played that a few times, like that, but without the early f5 as well. c4 releases the tension in the center. Morozevich had a fun game in this bum variation. It got a name of one of the variations after him, I think, as well. Against Polgar, was it? Sophia Polgar, was it? Judith, I think it might have been Sophia. It's breaking down the sandcastles. If you want to check it out on the Kingscrusher channel, it's breaking the sandcastles. Polgar against Morozevich. Morozevich playing black in this burn variation. I think he plays it with a rapid b5, bishop b7. He tries for an early bishop d5 to get the bishop outside the pawn chain, then c6 later. But I think I share quite a few. I love Morozevich's daring opening repertoire. Actually, in general, I know he's not that active at the moment. Queen h5 threatens like bishop e6 or knight e6 immediately. He plays also the Albin counter gambit, but recently John Saunders, you should check this out. I think I want to cover it on my channel. You should definitely check this out. The 17-year-old Morozevich, first international achievement, Lloyd's Bet Masters, 9.5 out of 10. Was it 1990? I'm going to check out the games. 9.5 out of 10. Lloyd's Bet Masters. It's only 17. He crushed everyone. I remember it vividly. Or some of the games on the demo boards. So rook d1, bishop d7. Rook d1. It's available. All of the 10 games are available. It's on Brit base. John Saunders does this Brit base, and yeah, I think it's a recent addition. He managed to get the games, well, at least for some of the top players. Incredible attacking games of Morozevich. I mean, seriously inspiring for me to see. Rook d1, bishop d7. Actually, there's knight f5 here. This is, you see, this is very dangerous because I think the Anderson method, you castle queenside with black. You play later, well, almost you're waiting for d5 to get the c5 square. I played that loads and loads of times with black, with reasonably good results overall. I mean, even against IMs, that burn variation has been pretty good for me in the French defense. French defense burn variation. But the Morozevich line, the early b5, I think Nakamura's played it once or twice with a quick early f5. I think Magnus Carlsen might have played it with an early f5. Okay, so knight takes f5 here. Queen e6, knight g7. I'm not getting mated on g2 just yet. Rook g8 is dangerous. f3. I'm controlling. I'm not controlling. I'm blunting the bishop with f3. So knight takes, rook g8, f3. f3, rook a e1. Queen e6, knight g7 check. Forks king, queen. In the meantime, the g file is a trump card for black, but I think f3 could be the recipe here to just blunt that. f3, rook g5. Is that win material? It could be dangerous actually. Come to think about it. Rook g8 and rook g5. What would I do? Maybe g4 is better. Holds f5. g4 might not be crazy. Well, there's rook g5, queen h7, rook takes, queen g8, bishop f8. I think that's more dangerous for black than for white, I hope. Let's have a look at this then. Rook g5. Queen h7. Queen takes here. Rook e1. We're going to go into this, aren't we? I think rook e1. Right, knight takes actually in queen h8. I'm just losing material, aren't I? I'm just losing material. It's good he's only got 2 seconds left. In reality, he's only got 2 seconds left. But if I'm being a theoretical, positional scientist about this, I'm technically losing this, aren't I? I'm technically losing this. Am I? Is Kingston in the centre? I've got queen h8 check, queen f8. I don't know. I'm going to take this out. I mean, okay. What does the engine say? Well, anyway, I'm like a bishop down. Let's just follow. Let's have a quick look at this position. Bishop down. I don't know. I can't deny that we're bishop down, but obviously there's compensation here. Yeah, clearly. Yeah. Okay. So let's go on to the next challenge. Armando. Okay. I think that was nifty, rook g8 to g5. It was nifty and unexpected and probably, yes, very good. f5, f4. Armando. f5, f4. Knight e7, knight f6, king f8. Let's hold the b2 pawn. Hold the b2 pawn first. So rook b8, knight e7, knight f6, king f8. But I need to hold b7, I mean. And kick with c6. So knight f6, king f8. Maybe knight g6 later. Kick this back with c6. Knight g6, knight h5, queen g5. Intriguing. This knight. Where does it want to be? Does it go back to d5, c6, h5? Knight g6, knight d5, h5. I'm looking at an empty cup of coffee here. Okay. E3. Is that the killer move? Okay. Let me see. I'm hitting the knight now. Kick this guy back. Then get on with the h-file attack. h5, h4, clearly attacking potential, I hope. h5, h4. The rook seems well placed anyway. Just for this natural h5, h4, hg. Right. Knight h4, I don't know, it seems so tempting. 2 pawns, is that enough? I would imagine. There's only a knight. Tau sacks a knight for 2 pawns routinely. So, yeah. Someone's done a top 10 Tau facts. It was quite amusing. I watched that video the other day. So apparently he was like spending 40 minutes on a move and came up with some brilliant combination, but actually he was trying to work out how to salvage some sort of hippopotamus from a swamp and couldn't save it. It was drowning, and the reporters said as though he calculated everything in the 40 minutes, but in reality apparently he'd been, well, according to his own book, yeah, he'd been thinking about this fictional hippo and the swamp. Quite amusing. But if you want to check out, there's an amusing video around called like Tau's top 10 facts about Mikhail Tal. I do remember reading that as well, that story about the hippo. But yeah, I think he played what he did because basically it was an interesting game. He couldn't calculate it to the end. It was just an interesting game. King e7, rook g8. But I remember Kasparov interview as well, though, said when like Tal played Kasparov for the last Blitz game, Kasparov was in very high regard for the way Tal just saw the variations, didn't need to calculate them that much. But yeah, I have my player favourites, definitely. I think Tal's one of them. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to just double rooks. I think it's just an interesting game, doubling rooks. Yeah. Rook g8, rook bg8. It's just, especially without increment, this is incredibly difficult, I think, potentially to defend. Or is it f4? I'm opening up this bishop for a nice pin. Immediately there'll be rook g3 on e takes. So f4 looks pretty dangerous. So e takes, rook g3. I'm getting on with doubling rooks in the meantime, so I've just basically extinguished the knight f5 threat, which might have been annoying, although probably well, I need to open up that G file anyway. So doubling rooks works with F4 quite well, and this bishop. So on double rooks, it looks pretty crushing actually. F knight E2, rook G8. All right, thanks for the game, Amando. Okay. Hello. Okay, Zen Frog. Am I playing an exchange line? Will he accept this pawn? Oh, Dutch Stonewall. Try and get rid of the dark square bishops if I can, without getting dismantled. So E3. Plan of bishop A3 is from Botvinnik to exchange off dark square bishops. I'm not sure about. Okay, do this and go back for bishop A3. This is a bit like drafts. If all the dark squares are weak, it's a bit like a draft setup, as in backgammon. Queen C1, bishop A3, just to try and weaken those dark squares, is a Botvinnik plan. In fact, I think even the variation is named after him, Botvinnik variation. With bishop A3, yeah, I documented that as well recently on the Kingscrusher channel. Dutch named variations. There's actually a Botvinnik variation with bishop A3 against the Stonewall in particular. It's a classic recipe, basically. It's classic. But I had this played against me by Dimitrios Agnos, who moved to Greece after. He played it against me, I think, in which tournament? But he was mega strong. He was mega strong. One of the strongest Greek players. He became a GM later. But anyway, I remember him playing this as white. All he did was exchange off the bishop, and later just put his rooks on C1 and D1, CD, E3. I just fell apart. It was just a position which was actually falling apart at the seams. There is bishop b4 there. This might not be all fun and games with bishop b4. If only I had a knight on d3, that would stop bishop b4, if that was a nuisance. I wonder if I can get away with knight e1 to d3 first. There's e5 coming. It holds e5 as well. So knight d3, bishop a3. Try and get rid of this defender of the dark squares without hopefully losing material. So bishop a3, e3, take the bishops off, queen c2, then just put the rooks on c1 and d1 and just wait for black to fall apart, basically. You don't actually have to do anything creative. Black should just fall apart naturally. That's the funny thing about this. It's peculiar to this line. Except I've just lost d4. Oh, what a muppet. I've just ruined everything. I should have played e3. Oh, it's terrible. Oh. Thankfully, he didn't go for winning this pawn. I should have been on the lookout for little tactics. e3, I think, is the move I should have been playing, yeah? Just to stop f4 here, protect d4 against dc. Knight e5 is a bit juicy. Okay, now I don't mind, I think, an endgame. Yeah, do I need to play a4 or not? Just to stop a4 from black. So I think, hopefully, knight e5 is running out of pieces to challenge a knight on e5. Just a knight. Can I actually do something from here? CD, knight e5, knight f7. remember Botvinnik commenting against, they had this dual 1960 World Championship match, so Dutch defence on the rage from both of them. And Botvinnik said, oh, it'd be better if the pawn was back on f7. I think Bronstein was imitating Botvinnik's repertoire quite considerably in the Dutch defence, playing the Dutch stonewalls and stuff. Okay, you can challenge the knight, but he's running out of pieces to do that. Actually get a protected passed pawn. If I just do this, anytime he does this, I'm just getting a protected passed pawn. Now, in the meantime, just from a counterplay killing perspective, it looks like a recipe sort of position. I don't know if rook c5 is too daring. Can I just play rook c3? It's on a dark square away from the bishop. Just double the rooks. Yeah, that's fine. Strategically desirable. Okay, g5 is something, I suppose. a5 is a target. Okay, where's the attack from black here with a huge knight on e5? My attack. Where's my attack as well? b4 could be a plan. Rook b1, b4. I'm weakening a4. If I did h4 here, just to make sure this bishop's not getting out of its prison. Protect g3 just in case. Let's just tickle here. I just want to see what his plan is if I didn't do anything. Just for a moment. If I'm not doing anything, what is his plan? Actually, I've got g4 as well, I've just noticed. So there's either b4 or g4 in reserve here. But what is black's plan? Nothing. In fact, because he's ready on the a pawn, what about g4 instead? Be unsubtle about g4 with rook g1 for a moment. In fact, I could be mega unsubtle about rook g2, rook c1, rook g1, g4. Have both rooks doubled. Blast down the g file. Is that overkill? What would he play in the meantime? The h4 pawn could be a problem. Maybe this is all about a bit of timing. If he's really going to play b5, I can go back for c6. So in fact, putting a bit more force behind g4 in advance might be a nifty idea. c5, really? c5 is the concern now, is it? With the king there, it makes b4 more attractive. g4 takes. Let's do some calculations. I'm going to have to say this is the way to go. Put some pressure. And bring the king to f4. Alright, that's a pawn loss, isn't it? Can I just take that? There's rook g6 here. Takes rook b6. There's king f4. I think I'll go with king f4. Alright, there isn't rook g6. Okay. King g5. Alright, lost some time. Okay. Yeah, I quite enjoy the Dutch stonewalls. They're very thematic. I think, right, so Alex for the win. Okay, I think this guy kicked my butt last week. Am I going to lose 6 million rating points again? Let's see. It's a 4-minute game, is it? With increments. Alright. Yeah. I don't know. I feel a slight concern already about this. If I was white, I know I'd be licking my lips. And it's black. I don't know. I feel slightly worried. I don't want to lose a pawn. Knight d5 just takes and then bishop takes and then bishop b5. Yes, I have this fear of my opponent, actually. I think it was based on last week's massacre game. Yeah. Okay, anyway, which was on increment as well. It makes it more dramatic. Please don't challenge me with increment on exchange Frenches. This is like this is like confessions for Clockwork Orange style strategies. You're going to just find out what winds me up and just play it, like in the film, the controversial film Clockwork Orange. Or something. I don't know. Please. But no, I think some of you don't like increments either, right? It's not all the rage yet, is it? Okay, and we can't schedule things that easily with increments. Yeah? Okay. So, ED knight d6, rook c8, knight c4. Yeah, it's a controversial film by Kubrick, Clockwork Orange. So he makes a series of confessions. They use it against him to torture him. It was banned for a while, but it's a very interesting film if you haven't seen it, especially if you're a film student or interested in film generally. I think it's one of those films you should see. And Kubrick himself was a chess player, by the way. Bit of trivia. So he did 2001 Space Odyssey. So you got the HAL bits, you got the chess bits. No coincidence. He's a chess enthusiast. So knight takes d6 for knight c4. Am I running into something really horrible if I play knight takes? I'm going to try and keep my pawn structure reasonable. So rook c8, knight c4, or knight f5. Actually, I think I might actually be in a reasonable shape here. Bishop takes, knight e3 threatened. Can I kick this guy away? Can I do something with the c4 square? Accepting double pawns there is a bit controversial, I suppose. Could be a nice g-file road to the king. Have I got knight b6 to c4? Alright, where is that knight heading? I can't work it out what that knight's doing on g5 just yet. I don't want it to provoke weaknesses necessarily either. Okay, really? And what about, okay, knight c4. Can I not play on the diagonal at all at some point? Example, queen c6 is gagging for it here. Queen c6, That's Queen H2. There's A5, B4 minority attack over this side as well. Oh, that looks tempting. Very tempting. Just to play for B4. I mean, actually, it's kind of a vivid, like, minority attack. The position is crying out for it. It's saying, please, please, just do the minority attack. Because the bishop, the rook, the queen, everything's poised, it seems, well, in that direction of this minority, where the minority of pawns attack a majority of pawns with the hope of structural damage. Now, Queen C6 is not just on G2, it's on H1. If Rook F2, Queen H1, if King H2, Queen G2, if Knight F3, then that's a pain. What about Bishop D4 first? King H2, Queen C6, there's Rook G1. So Queen C6, Knight F3, Bishop D4 there, King H2. Well, I don't know. I mean, it looks so good. I'm going to play this. I hope I'm not going to regret it. I mean, Knight F3 is not exactly great for white, is it? I mean, might be wrong about this. Pressure points. There's pressure points building up. BC. Okay, if I don't want to lose material, Rook E4 to E2 would seem good. Although C takes is possible. The check and then Rook E2 looks crushing. Rook E2 looks absolutely crushing here anyway. I mean, I might be wrong, but am I not threatening Rook D takes D2, Knight takes Queen G2 mate now? There's always Bishop D4 here, and if King H1, Queen F3 is mating. So if Knight takes Queen G2, that looks like mating with Queen F3. Are you guys giving me an easy time today? Sorry, what is this a big joke? You're letting me win today. You're going to kill me next week, aren't you? You guys are giving me an easy time today. Because last week he smashed me. Okay, it's 10-1. Thanks for the game. Okay, this guy usually kills me. Come on, I'll be suspecting something if this guy doesn't win. Okay, so we're gonna have our usual 3-minute super blitz game. I'm ready for you. I want revenge. Yes. Come on. You're getting ready, are you? You're getting ready. Yeah. Where is he? Where is he? Come on. Oh, I was looking forward to that. Come on, man. Where is he? Do I go and get a cup of coffee and come back? I've done the scheduled hour and a half. This is not for the show anymore. I just wanted my revenge. Nothing to do with the show. I want my revenge. I'll go and have a coffee and come back. Come on. Oh, where is he? Can someone message him? Is he on the site? Is he around? Does anyone know if he's around on chat? So anyway, I watched this more than 2.5 hour film last night. Yes, Saturday is usually my cinema night, so I could give you a film review, if you want, while we're waiting. Was it Lost? I think the title Lost. So in Japan, about Christianity in Japan. By the way, I'm Greek Orthodox, a branch of Christianity, but I'm not very strict Greek Orthodox. But anyway, it was just a fascinating film about how it's more than 2.5 hours long, though. Yeah, I don't know how many of you have seen it yet. Yeah, it's got some extreme scenes, though. I think you should be over 18 to go and see it. The film Lost, but there's a lot of good films on at the moment. To take your girlfriend or wife, I think La La Land, another one, very, very high IMDb rating, more than 8, La La Land, and I want to see that. And I haven't seen the Star Wars one yet. Yeah, I'm behind on films, actually. Okay. So anyway, it is my move. Sorry. I've just realised. Crikey. Okay, I've just given him a time handicap. That's fantastic. Which I hope is not totally fatal. I regret not looking at the... Oh, why did I give him a time advice? Oh, I wasn't ready. I need to be ready. Catching up on the clock a bit. I'm losing the exchange now. Or a pawn. I think the important aspect was trying to catch up on the clock. That's just a terrible move. I'm getting done over. Yeah. I'm getting done over. Knight c4. That's horrible. Various. And it's losing a piece. Wasn't a proficient start to the game. I don't like having a time handicap. It was making me a bit nervous, to be honest. He did me over by not starting the game on time. That's my excuse. Just piece down for nothing. Yeah, I've got nothing. Yeah. Can we have a game rematch where I'm actually Can we actually have a proper game now? Yeah, where we start at the same time. I think I need a rematch with equal time. Yeah. If you're up for it, okay, we'll have a proper game now. I'm much more confident from this position with the equal time odds. In fact, I think I'm fine here. Bishop d4 on queen d2. Alright, he just does that. Knight g4 for bishop d4. I think this is dangerous still. King f1, knight h2. This is looking dangerous. It's quite dangerous to play a knight f2 or knight h2. Probably queening the pawn. King h2, king g2, right. I'll take this pawn over here. Try and get some pass pawns over here. Yes. B5 is not possible, is it? Can I play knight c7 for b5? It looks like two connected pass pawns versus his. You can win a pawn here. Oh, okay. This guy is a tough cookie. Respect. He's going to be a. All right. Can we just make it just one more? Just one more. One more. Right. One more. Right. Sorry, I don't usually do this, but just one. No. Okay. No. I think this is. Do we want one more? Does the crowd want one more? Okay. For 3 minutes. It is fast paced. I don't know if we have gone over the thing, so this is just bonus time, right? Or not? Or should we just go on to... Okay, I don't think I've got too many pending challenges. Okay, there is one that I'll play after, I assure you. I'll play the other pending challenge. This is a very dangerous system for white. F5 knight, F4, I've seen this stuff before. Anyway, does it measure them out? Maybe it doesn't. Knight F5, G5, G4. And he's going to get both pairs of rooks off. G4 for knight D4. Doesn't that give me... Does that give me anything? It's maybe rook A1, knight B3. Threatens. E3, yeah, rook A1, knight B3. There is bishop D6. I'll play rook A1. Okay, there's bishop D6. I got F3 here. It's compensation. Get rid of this bishop, try and mate. I get rid of this. I think this is scary. If I play my cards right. He's got a, unfortunately, a check here. Takes check there. King F7 maybe. That looks, yeah, it's exceptionally dangerous for white. It takes some. Looks mating. Potentially on bishop F1. If bishop takes knight G4, it fundamentally looks dangerous for white for me. To play knight E2 king. Right, knight G4. Or bishop G2 first. G4. Maybe I'm wrong. Takes check. Could be wrong about this. That's Queen G5. Might not have anything. Yeah, I think I'm actually wrong about this. Totally. I'm about to lose the bishop for nothing. It was knight F6. No, it's gone, isn't it? Rook E7's too strong. Oh, crikey, okay. I thought Rook E7 was really strong. Oh, this looks terrible. I'll go behind the pawn, I don't know. That looks a winning pass pawn. Try and tie down the rook to the back row at least. And what? Oh, he just queens. All right, this guy's pretty dangerous. I'm gonna have to work on my game. All right, yeah, okay. I think I get it. This guy's dangerous. Well played. He's leading the match. He's leading our virtual match. All right, there was one more challenge. Yes, this guy's dangerous. No, there was no more challenges. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the little mini match at the end of that one. Okay, next time if I'm doing that, I should clear out the other challenges. But we had done quite a bit anyway. So okay. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Give me a score between 1 and 10. So 1 is fun, 10 is boring. Hope you thought it was fun. Quick score here before you go. Otherwise, I'll see you next week then. So have fun. Remember, some good films around at the moment. Check the IMDb ratings. There's quite a few films, more than 8 at the moment. Very good time if you want to go to the cinema. Okay. All right. Cheers then. Thanks very much. Comments, questions, likes, appreciated.